right.
All right, many of us gearing up for summer road trips. We want to make sure our cars are safe when we hit the open roads. Jeff Castle is the owner, proprietor, and operator of Spee Dee Oil Change in Somerville, and he joins us right now with some great helpful tips. Jeff, welcome to the program. A lot of people starting to plan those trips, and we're just talking in between in the breaks here about maybe a 95 trip down to Disneyland. So what do people need to do right now to make sure that their cars are ready to go?
Well, they need to bring the car into us, let us check everything out. When we do an oil change, we do a 17-point inspection of the whole vehicle, so we can look at belts, hoses, tire pressure, and we'll also change your oil with that oil change, believe it or not, these days. Just give it
filter
a good
as well.
Yeah, filter as well. Get it all checked out, make sure you're safe to travel, and keep you from breaking down on 95 like we were joking about.
Right. Well, what makes Spee Dee so much different than the other automotive service places around here?
Well, we're all locally owned here. My dad and I have the Somerville store. There's also locations in North Charleston, West Ashley, James Island, and Mount Pleasant. And all these guys are members of the community. So whenever you have a small business where the owner is a member of the community, I think there's a vested interest in taking care of the customer and really putting customer service first.
Absolutely. So as people come in, the weather's getting a little bit warmer. What are some of the steps that you need to take right now?
Well, a lot of people, even though it's not that warm yet, need to start thinking about getting their AC checked out.
Yeah.
Typically every year we'll have that first really hot day, and all of a sudden we're just overwhelmed with AC work. All of our centers here have AC service available, and we have qualified technicians to take care of it. Go ahead and get it checked out now. Make sure you'll be good for the hot time that's coming up. Also, go ahead and get your coolant system checked out. Make sure there's no leaks. Maybe you get your radiator flushed out.
Do the flush, right?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like good things along with the oil change, but you also want to look at tire pressure, because if you're taking these trips on the road, you got the kids, all that stuff in the back, you're loading extra weight on your car, you're going to make sure that those tires are properly inflated. Not only is it going to improve your safety, but your gas mileage as well.
Gas mileage, definitely. And at all our locations, when we do an oil change, one thing we definitely do is check your tire pressure every time you come in there. Make sure those things are properly inflated. And that's probably the most significant area of neglect we found in customers' cars these days.
Yeah, along with tires, do you want to rotate them too if you're about to take this trip, something like that across the country?
It depends on what your history is with rotating tires. If you have your best tires on the front, go ahead and leave them there. That's something we can look at for you and advise you on. And we do tire rotations at all our locations as well.
Yeah. Now, it's important, we learned yesterday on the show, that you don't want to make all these repairs or services to your car the day before you leave for one of these trips. You got to give this stuff a little bit of time to gel and cool and make sure that it's right in your car before you get the road.
Definitely. Don't wait until you have the car loaded up with grandma, 3 dogs, 7 kids, and the neighbors, and you're all going down to Disney World, and then something goes wrong because you're not going to be prepared for it. If you come in now, we got plenty of time to get you taken care of and make sure you're safe.
Well, it sounds like a great thing. So what are some of the services that people are coming in asking for the most right now?
I think we're seeing a lot of people asking about fuel system cleanings. Price of gas is high right now, and that is something that we offer. Oil change is still, the #1 service we do. Again, the best thing about getting your oil change is that it gives us a chance to check everything else out like we were talking about. Then we can advise to go from there. We are starting to see coolant flushes. That's coming in a lot right now. People are thinking ahead, so that's good.
Jeff, do you recommend the 3,000 mile between oil changes, or can you go a little bit longer, or do you go by the date?
Manufacturers are recommended extended drain intervals now. I tend to stick to 3 months, 3,000 miles, and we do advise our customers to do that. If you run like a synthetic-based oil, you can go a little bit longer. But still, an oil change is about the cheapest thing you can do to maintain your car. And so why not go ahead and do that? You only have to be in a few times a year. It's cheaper than a tank of gas right now.
Sure is. Jeff, if people want to come find you, take your car to you, get it serviced before they hit on that trip, where do they need to go?
Well, we've got 5 locations in the Low Country: Main Street in Somerville, Northwoods Boulevard in North Charleston, 1498 Highway 17 North right here in Mount Pleasant. It's also a store on James Island and a store on Savannah Highway.
Go check out that website right there, www.speedyoil.com. Jeff, thank you so much for coming on the program. We do appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for the information as well. And stay with us. We got more after the break.